How to not feel like a whale in your wedding dress. This week. Happy Sunday and welcome to BFit-TV. I'm Leslie Friedman, owner of Be Forever Fit and first-time expecting mom at age 40. This week I chat with a doctor who specializes in weight loss about the importance of exercise and her take on eating for two. And in this week's BFit Tip of the Week, a new segment I call What's My Mod, where I introduce you to some unique ways to modify common movements when you're pregnant or when something just doesn't feel right. Most of us are probably all too familiar with the elusive topic of maintaining a healthy weight. And by now we know there is no magic pill. Damn it. And we know both nutrition and exercise play important roles. I sat down with Dr. Carolyn Francavilla to get her advice both for expecting moms and for those who just want to get and stay healthy.
Okay. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk with you.
Of course. So tell us a little bit about you and your background and what you do.
Yeah, so my name's Carolyn, or Care as I usually go by at the gym. And I am a family physician. And then I have additional training by the American Board of Obesity Medicine to help people lose weight. And I do that for medical reasons. So I help people lose weight to either prevent diseases that they're at risk for or to treat a disease they already have.
How did you decide to kind of target that particular segment?
Yeah, I always felt like a little bit of an odd duck in medical school. Everyone else was really excited to see like bad diseases and see surgeries and things like that. And I just wanted to figure out how to keep people healthy. If I never saw another sick person again, I would have been totally okay with that. Now, along the way, I've developed the skills to take care of sick people, and I enjoy that challenge. But my primary goal is to keep people healthy. People often think they need to get to a normal weight, and that's just not true. People can be healthy and fit at different sizes.
Stripping away any judgment that comes along with it,
Yeah.
and approaching it simply from this is how we want to approach your health, and
Yeah.
this is what it means to be healthy. It's not what it means to have the perfect BMI or whatever.
Exactly. And so setting those goals for people, because sometimes people come in and I'm like, I don't really know that you need to lose weight. Likewise, I sometimes have people who come in at a normal BMI and it's not a healthy weight for them. They actually may have diabetes at that weight or have risks or have high cholesterol. And so, being at a normal weight is not always a guarantee of health.
Let's talk a little bit more about exercise.
Okay.
So I'm sure everybody comes to you with varying backgrounds and experience levels and, intimidation levels on exercise. So kind of how do you start with somebody?
So always finding out like what their history is. So a lot of times people were very active at some point in their life. Maybe they played a high school sport or a college sport. Maybe having children threw off their routines. Maybe they no longer feel confident with their new body, like lots of different reasons. And so figuring out, was there a time in life that they were active? What did they like? Sometimes people who come in and struggle with their weight, in fact, often already are active, right? And so acknowledging that. I have people sometimes who come in and they are ever exercising an hour a day. And so I'm like, you're good. Like that's not the thing we need to work on. In fact, maybe your exercise is so intense, you have increased cortisol and that's not helping you, right?
Totally, yeah.
It's getting that history, but there are certainly plenty of people who aren't moving really at all. And so it's really evaluating where they're at in that process and what they're interested in. So walking is often a place I'll start with people. Almost everyone can safely walk. The majority of people can safely walk. And so that's such an easy, affordable way to get people exercising. So that's often where I'll start. But I really listen to them. What are they interested in, or what do they think they might want to do someday? And kind of giving them the encouragement to get there.
And helping them find the right trainer, community, gym, environment, like all of those things where they're going to be set up for success and want to keep going. All right, what are 3 things we can all do on a daily basis to just improve our overall health and nutrition from your perspective?
So I'm going to go a little more general, I think, on this. But one of my sort of pet peeves is when someone comes in and they want to get healthier and they smoke. So to me, I just find it amazing that anyone still smokes anything. But especially, you know, people sometimes have switched to e-cigarettes. They think that's healthier. Like, I don't even care what your weight is. If you're still smoking, priority number one, that is like the worst thing. We all know that's bad for our health. So that's sort of like what I always think of. You know, one thing that I think I'm seeing more of with COVID is also alcohol use. And I find fair amount of patients who come in for weight, actually one of the biggest things we need to do is reduce alcohol consumption. And I don't know if that's everywhere in the country, but I definitely see that amongst Coloradans who are very fit. They might be doing everything else like right. They have their super strict diet that they follow, but then they're very liberal with their cocktail or their wine. And so that's a thing to be aware of. And so our guidelines for alcohol have maybe been a little liberal in the past. We say women can have up to 7 drinks a week and men can have up to 14, but newer evidence is really showing we should probably all drink a fair amount less than that.
Yeah, that actually just sounds like a lot.
And then third, I think general nutrition advice is like eating real food, right? And so, you know, the paleo diet, for example, is something that in principle, I think makes a lot of sense and is a good framework for people. But, you know, now you can buy paleo granola and paleo waffles, both of which I enjoy. But you know, trying to eat more real food, the more you can eat something that's just on the grocery shelf, like that is probably the right path to nutrition versus going down more packaged foods.
Now I'm just going to ask a totally selfish question.
Okay.
Do you recommend any specific nutrition or have specific nutrition advice for pregnant women?
You know, theoretically, Leslie, there's all sorts of wonderful nutrition advice I would love to give to pregnant women. However, as someone who has been pregnant twice myself and felt miserable, there's a lot of, you know, different nutrition theories out there, but like, based on my experience, I think listening to our bodies, this is a time in our life where we should listen to our bodies and give ourselves some grace because we don't really know what the perfect way of eating is.
You know, going into this pregnancy, I was like, okay, so like, am I gaining too much weight? And I literally had gained 1 pound in my first trimester when she was like, you're fine. You're growing a human. So you need to like, let it go. And I was like, okay, okay, that's, you know what, I can do that.
We all put pressure on ourselves, especially as women. And I think it's a great gift to be at a set point for weight, right? It can be insanely frustrating because we're told that we could always lose that other 5 pounds. But if you're at a place with your exercise and your nutrition that your body stays in that same little space, like that's really the goal, right? And so that's actually a sign of like a very healthy body and someone who has a really good relationship with food. And so that's what we're all shooting for, is to be at that set point where we're healthy.
By the airing of this week's episode, I'll be almost 17 weeks pregnant, which means I am well into my 2nd trimester. I've been working out regularly through my pregnancy, and I've been following the rule of just listening to my body. And I'm having to modify certain things I didn't think I would have to just yet. In this week's BFit Tip of the Week, a segment I'm calling What's My Mod? As always, consult your doctor before beginning any exercise program. I'm sharing my personal experiences with you, but what's right for me may not necessarily be right for you. Barbell snatches taken from the ground. Call it a maternal instinct, but I know soon enough my belly will be much larger and necessitate a workaround. So I'm taking all lifts from the hang position. Split squats. Okay, things are happening down there that, well, I don't even know what the is happening. I know this movement doesn't feel awesome. Instead, work your single leg stability with a single leg deadlift plus reverse lunge complex. Slow and controlled is the name of the game here. Plus, that'll actually make you work harder. Kipping. I think learning how to do this properly is great for shoulder strength and stability. But I'm finding as my abs stretch to accommodate baby's growth, this movement just doesn't feel great. Try these 2 shoulder builders. Scap pull-ups and hanging shoulder circles. This week we give some local business love to Middle State Coffee. Now that I'm only drinking 1 to 2 cups of coffee per day, I make sure it's good stuff. Check out local roaster Middle State, right in the Baker neighborhood of Denver. Thanks for tuning in to BFit-TV. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram. All the information is in our description. Have a wonderful week, fam. To get her advice on both, oh my God, I'm doing all the mods that you suggested. I'm not pregnant. I was like, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.